Good evening and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alista, Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Gacha, Episode 3. Hotaru, you are annoying as hell. I'm happy that you are less stiff and you're getting your groove on. But my god, you're starting to get really annoying. But mind you, this is just my opinion only. If you guys think otherwise, okay, that's fine. But for me, he is being a little bit extra. He's being over the top. And I just like, ugh. Yep, this is Ghost and Saber all over again, and you know how much I don't like either of those two shows. Mostly Ghost. I mean, Saber was okay, but still, I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But let's get started before I go into a rant. So the episode begins with the crazy man who wants to destroy people's happiness. And unfortunately, his malice has attracted a poor chemi mushroom, and they both become a Malgam and pulled a Joker gas on those poor people. I know it's not gas; they're mostly spores, but still, he did a Joker, and he's just laugh until you die, and he just skips away into the darkness while those poor people are laughing until they die. And then before that, finally we get an appearance from the Weird Sisters. When is the last time we ever saw those Weird Sisters? Just the first episode. The second episode, it was just a flashback and just like Kudo just telling him, yes, the Weird Sisters are a threat, but there are others, and yet they pop out of nowhere, and they did nothing but watch. I'm like, okay, what kind of villains are you? What kind of villains are you, you Weird Sisters? So we get a cameo appearance from the Weird Sisters. We go back to the restaurant, and you can tell that Hotaru is happy. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Because he is officially an alchemist, well, a student alchemist. He is attending an alchemist school, which, by the way, don't you think that he will have to do double duty? Because he still has regular school to go to, but hey, it doesn't exist anymore now that he is attending alchemy school. I'm just saying. But he is humming, he's happy. You could see Hopper 1 is hopping up and down, doing the circle thing as he is enjoying the rhythm. And then next you know, he created in Bando. He created a lunch. Let me see what he said. Oh, he made a pumped up big fried katsu bento. Yeah, that's how happy he was. And then he realized he is gonna get late again. So he's like, crap, I'm gonna be late. And he stubs the poor grasshopper into the backpack again. And he just runs out of the restaurant. And you see, as he was running to school, you hear the screams of the poor grasshopper. Yes. And as Horato was running, you see Spammer looking at afar, and obviously he's like, really, this kid is a Kamen Rider, really? Oh, I once I get to the dojo scene, I have to say, I was laughing. Okay, so after the opening credits, Horato makes a huge introduction to to his alchemy school. Which, by the way, how many students are in this school? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people. Four students in this alchemy school, and you could say Dayhoff, my Daedric Prince. This school is a secret school. No one should know about it. I get it, but Hogwarts had how many people? And it still remains a secret amongst, the wizarding world. Here it's just like, okay, it's only four people. All right. And Haruto is like shouting, and it's just like, "Hey, everybody! I'm a Horato. I'm here to be the best alchemist. Sorry, I always get those two confused. Alchemist, and my goal is to make friends with Kimis and pleasure to meet you." And you see this awkward pause. You see Kudo just staring at him, and you have these two weird students, which I will introduce later. And it's so awkward. This is where it's like, stop with the yelling. And already, we have a student wearing this weird hat and a tentacle glove, whatever. And then you have another student who lets his iPad speak for him. And how you pronounce her name? Renge. Yeah, the one with the weird, with the hat on and the tentacle. She was offering Haruto, "Hey, I could sell you this card. It's for cheap." And you can tell Haruto is tempted to pay, but no, Kimis are my friends. God. And then you have what's his face? Sabarimaru, the guy with the iPad. He whispers that, "Hey, that's my card," and then he lets its iPad do the introduction and saying that it's mine. You're not allowed to give it away. It would be cool if the voice behind that iPad was actually the actor himself. That would be cool. It has that cool voice. But if not, oh well. But yeah, that character reminds me of a certain character from Twisted Wonderland. So yeah, that's just a reference. So we get an introduction with those two weird students, and next thing you know, yeah, he doesn't like people. Minato Sensei shows up and just tells everybody that, "Hey, our mission now is to recapture all 101 chemi cards. You will have you will have a device in order to find them and capture them, called the chemi riser." And of course, you have Hotaru volunteering, like, "Hey, I will do it," and shows off his card collection so far. And then Minato Sensei like, "Fine, it's okay, it's cool. So I'll give you the chemi riser," and I think he gives him another card called Apare Bushido. And of course he does his thing with, "Hey, my name is so-and-so, how are you?" And you can tell that Bushido was not having it. You could hear a whisper in his name, but that was it. And so everybody went to go hunt down Kimis, and then all of a sudden, this is 180 from 2 weeks ago. Because you have a Kudo all of a sudden tells Hotaru, "Well, be careful and good luck, whatever." And you saw her, like, she has this nasty attitude all of a sudden, and Hotaru was like, "Why is she angry with me? What did I do?" And then it leads out to her with that cutscene, and it's all about, okay, what is it that you want to grow up? And this flashback was after she immediately finds a chemi, she captures it, and then we have the flashback, and she's like, "I don't know, like, what do I care about what I want to do when I grow up?" That sort of thing. It's just, I don't understand Kudo's attitude. At the end of this episode, it was never explained as to why she's being nasty to him. I believe it's just pure jealousy, maybe. Um, and then as she was being all pouty and jelly, you see this pervert, this stalker, stalking Kudo from afar. Next, you know, he transforms into a Malgam. So we have two Malgams running amok. Um, and then we move on to, of course, um, Kanji Kai. He is still questioning himself, like, hey, I know I saw something, but why can't I remember? So he is like really fighting in his mind, like, hey, like, I know I saw something, but why can't I remember? Uh, he's just questioning himself, and all at the same time too. You have this criminal, not really a criminal, it looks like a killer, but he's transforms in front of Kanji Kai, and he's like, hey, there's a monster. And the mushroom monster does his thing. He releases the spores to make people laugh until they die. And of course, stupidly, Kanji Kai captures pictures of him, approaches him, and then he gets spored. Okay. All right. That's for being stupid. Yeah. So we move on to Hotaru, and he is trying to make friends with a card. He's trying to make friends with Bushido. He doesn't know how. Then next you know, Hopper 1 senses danger, and it does this thing by dragging poor Haruto to where the danger is. And then when he makes it to the danger scene, he tried to use the Bushido card, but for whatever reason, it starts attacking him instead. And Hoto is like, what the hell is this? Like, you're not supposed to be fighting me. You're supposed to be fighting the evil mushroom. But that didn't work. It didn't work. But with that little setback, however, he transforms into Gacha. He briefly fights it, but unfortunately, due to the rider kick, the mushroom didn't work. Wait, what I'm trying to say. He launched a rider kick at the mushroom, but it didn't work, and he escaped, but not before spreading his poisonous spores onto poor Hotaru. And then you see him like be all sad as he watches the victims being poisoned. He is questioning himself, like, how can I save these people? Like, look at me, what's going on? And you can tell that I'm not sure if it was the spores that making him go all like sad and questioning himself, but either way, he's just really feeling like the effects of the poison. He is really like questioning his self-worth as a Kamen Rider. And yeah, that was pretty tough to watch. But luckily, we have Minato Sensei coming in and rescues him. And then we get back to the school where Sensei explains the situation, tells him, hey, you got poisoned, but don't worry, you and the other victims have this antidote, so we're cool. And he further explains that the chemi can be used for good and evil. And after the cure, you know, he Hotaru, for some reason, decides to go to a dojo, and he places the bushido card, at this altar, whatever. He grabs a wooden katana and does his thing with it. Then all of a sudden, you see Spanner appears and just telling him that you suck as a writer. Why does someone like you have this powerful item? Fork it over. Fork it over. And of course, Hotaru says, hell no, I'm not going to give it to you. And And of course, Spanner said, okay, if you're not gonna give it to me willingly, then I'll beat you up. That's pretty much what happened. Maybe you will respond to strength, and you see Spinner. Why do I keep saying Spinner? Um, you can see Spanner just really kick his ass, and again he demands the driver, but Hotaru says no because he sees this future where chemis and humans can coexist. They can be our friends. And of course, Spanner was like, "No, you're being naive here. They are an abomination to the natural order of things. They are tools for us to use." And he continues to beat him up until Hopper 1 comes out from his card and attacks Spanner to the point where he was about to hit the grasshopper with the lunar katana, but then you have Haruto doing the hero deed and blocks the attack, and it looked like it hit him on his lower back. And so, and then all of a sudden, like, how can you recover from an attack like that? Because Spanner just hits him with a wooden katana at his lower back, at his spine, and then Haruto had the willpower to do this weird attempt of a spear, but instead of a spear, it looked like he just speared him using his head and just hit, like, it's a weird attempt of a spear. It was so weird. It's just a headbutt driven spear through the stomach, and then you see Bushido throwing fans, so you can tell that Haruto won over the respect of Bushido. And of course Spanner is like, this is getting ridiculous, this is stupid, and he just leaves. And then you see Hotaru all happy and smiling now that Bushido is on his side now. And then we get to the last couple of scenes where Hotaru meets up with Kudo and Minato Sensei at this abandoned warehouse where it's been constantly been filmed over and over again on Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. It's property owned. And you see Minato Sensei and Kudo fighting the evil mushroom monster. They say that they're alchemists, but they're kind of using magic. Come on, you're using a ring of power. And then Hotaru comes in. Like, I'm surprised that he knew where they were, but then again, he has Hopper 1, so it can just drag him to where they are. And he uses the Bushido card and the skateboard card, and then we have a new form called the Appare Skebo. And then we see them fighting, and as Gacha was fighting the evil mushroom, there was a cutscene where you can see Kudo giving that face, that angry, jealous face. Like, again, we don't know why she's acting this way, because the last time we saw her, she was giving him the lessons, giving him, like, how did the chemis get created, the weird sisters, that sort of thing. So why is she being all nasty to him? It doesn't make any sense. I just assume it's just pure jealousy, but I don't know. Who knows? So after that, you see Hotaru defeat the evil mushroom. He captures the Venom Deke, the mushroom card, the mushroom chemi, and and then Sensei captures the crazy man, and then you would think the episode ends there. Nope, you'd be wrong, because you have the Stalker Man in his shark jet form, his monster form, and it looked like he was about to kidnap Kudo. But then he gets shot. By who, you wonder? Spanner himself. And Hotaru was all shocked, like, you? Really? You? And then, uh, yeah, so he's shocked, and Minato Sensei pretty much knows who he is. He knows that he's being assigned to capture the cards as well, and he ends up doing his catchphrase, and he transforms into Velvadard. I can't pronounce it. Velvarod. I don't know. I can't pronounce it, but and then and that's it. That's his official debut, and that's the end. Uh, what can I say? I mean, this episode was just an annoying episode only because of Hotaru being very extra. Kudo, for whatever weird reason, she is angry. She's giving that weird jealousy face at Hotaru. Even he was like, "What did I do? Why is she acting like this way? She wasn't like this 2 weeks ago. In the week before, she wasn't like this. So it's just so weird." Um, and Kanji Kai is again spots another monster, so that means Minato Sensei has to pull the Ring of Power memory wipe thing, but I don't think it's gonna work anymore because he always encounters these monsters, and it will come to the point where his magic will be like, no, there's no way to keep erasing his mind because these monsters always pops up his way. So yeah. um Again, Horuto, he's being very extra. He is being all, you know, not like he's being oh, chemis and humans can coexist and blah blah blah. It just reminds me a whole lot of Takeru. I'm like, ugh, no, no. But all right. But I did enjoy the beatdown that Spammer did to Kotaro, because that's what he gets for being over the top. And then we officially meet the two other students, the only two students aside from Hotaru and Kudo. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, it's an okay episode. It's just I felt like Hotaru was, he's excited for good reason, but at the same time, he was just being extra. And then Kuto with her weird attitude. It doesn't make any sense, but all right. Other than that, I mean, episode went by very quick, and we get an introduction from Spanner, and yeah, I think that's it. Well, thank you so much for listening. And if you've seen episode 3, please let me know. Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? And if so, what would you change? And also, if I missed anything, please write in the comments below as well, because even though I have my notes in front of me, I may have missed something here and there. I almost missed the Weird Sisters, but they only have one appearance after, last week? I don't know. And then give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And also one last thing. I have finally submitted my villains video for Kamen Rider Geats, so feel free to listen in. It's 2 hours, but if you have a specific character you want to listen to, there's timestamps. So yeah, so my heroes video as well as my villains video for Kamen Rider Geats is on YouTube and also on Rumble. So I wanted to announce that. Other than that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you all on the other side of oblivion. Horato, you are annoying as hell. Johnny!